Um, they started out by saying, I'm going to tell you guys I don't feel well today. I think you guys can look at me and see. I wanted to show you this mark. So that was in the same area as the other mark, and I had one on my cheek that's also swollen. So I'm just gonna go over some quick things about what they're talking about. They're upset because their lie about me trying to pursue a job as a nanny in 1994 is easily disproven. Um, I think there's something about them. They said that they got in trouble for being pedophiles or something, and they wanted to show that I have the same pattern as them. I cannot, and I do not. I'm wondering why, if in 1994 they thought I had that pattern, they wouldn't address it in 1994. What I think happened with this whole group and why they're making that admission is that they're going to try to use this radiation exposure as an excuse. This does not give people pedophilia. Okay, that's insanity. I think what happened is that when they did this to me and I got so sick and I didn't do the wrong things, they said, oh, wait, we can now use this as an excuse for doing the wrong thing. That is not the same. You know, part of what I'm explaining on this channel is that they're giving me bad suggestions, lies that they've told on other people and about other people. They're giving me, someone said, their truth. That if you're going to use this as an excuse for hurting children, then there's something wrong with you. The other big deal about that is that, you know, they were saying that I have no, in any way, history, contact with anything like this. So they said, well, meaning when I was 14 and I went for the summer youth program, didn't I work with children? And they said, no, I really didn't. I told this story repeatedly. I didn't get the job for the summer youth program because I was only 14 and you had to be 15. So I wasn't old enough. There's no way anyone would leave a 14-year-old who doesn't qualify for the job because she's too young with children. I wasn't around these children. And I'm telling you the story they even told. They said they used to call me up and wanted me to do more hours. And I said, no. First of all, my mother didn't want me to do it. And I was only 14. I don't have to work. This isn't what they wanted it to be. They don't want the truth out here. Because once you have the truth out here, it doesn't make sense. Anyway, they said I probably did, like cleaning up or whatever. I wasn't even there weekly long enough. So they said, was I upset at the end when I didn't get paid? No, I wasn't supposed to get paid. And this is partly what I'm saying to them. There's something with them and trying to keep using me. And I'm going to title this Using Me. They know I like certain people. And I like people based on what I like, who I like everyone else. No hidden agenda necessary. They have an agenda. They like people who they can use. So they loved me at one point. They keep saying, I'm not going to use the exact phrase they're using because, again, I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to let them say these messages to people. They keep saying that I'm going to get on your nerves. Shut the video off if I get on your nerves. I've gotten on people's nerves before. They don't stalk me. who stalks someone who gets on their nerves? The other big deal is that they said they wanted, I got to get off before my speech goes. Part of what I've been telling you guys is that you've seen me get sick. And I feel like I'm getting sick like that again because of them. But part of what they want to use me for is to make everyone not fight back against them. We have to. I think when I'm talking to you about them trying to use this technology as an excuse for the worst crimes ever, that's what we're fighting for. We're not fighting, I'm not fighting for all these other list of things that they're trying to talk about. I'm fighting for them to stop them from committing the worst crimes ever. When they talk about what they were telling me as a child, it's disgusting. I've already done videos on that. when they lied and said that I was applying for a nanny job in 1994. That's a huge lie. But they want to use me for two things. Like I said, to kind of make it seem like this leads to pedophilia. It doesn't. But also because they want to make it seem like why I didn't have children was because of some nanny job. I don't know. I can't, at some point I say why they admit things based on what I know about them. But this is too bizarre for me to figure out why they would want me to bring anyone's child in here. I would never do that. It's not a place for children. If I got sick like this, I would never even think about bringing a child into an environment where they can get sick. They're also upset because now more people are talking about EMF, microwaves, the voices, and things like that. I'm glad. And I thank you folks for doing it. I really like to thank the people who do the readings on their EMF readers. If you guys have some readings, could you link a video? And some of them I may, you know, post and talk about. The other thing is that I have somebody who I really want to thank for leaving the comment that they would like me to talk more about the technology. I got to feel well enough to do it because I don't want to mess up the new information. There's a lot of new information. So, what I will do is put some of the links to some of the new information in the description of this video. Thank you for watching.